It is 7:10 p.m. on March 15th, 2023. I'm going to begin by reading the preface to Imperialism, the Highest Stage of Capitalism by V.I. Lenin. For the record, I have two books. I will be reading each day. This is the one I will be starting with now. I will begin with the first preface. Preface. Imperialism, the Highest Stage of Capitalism, a popular outline. A pamphlet here presented to the reader was written in the spring of 1916 in Zurich. In the conditions in which I was obliged to work, there I naturally suffered somewhat from a shortage of French and English literature and from a serious dearth of Russian literature. However, I made use of the principal English work on imperialism, the book by J.A. Hobson, with all the care that, in my opinion, that work deserves. This pamphlet was written with an eye to the Tsarist censorship. Hence, I was not only forced to confine myself strictly to an exclusively theoretical, particularly economic analysis of facts, but to formulate the few necessary observations on politics with extreme caution, by hints, and in allegorical language, in that accursed Aesopian language, to which Tsarism compelled all revolutionaries to have recourse whenever they took up their pens to write a legal work. It is painful, in these days of liberty, to reread these passages of the pamphlet, which have been distorted, cramped, compressed in an iron vise on account of the censor, about the fact that imperialism is the eve of the socialist revolution, that social chauvinism, socialism in words, chauvinism in deeds, is the utter betrayal of socialism, complete desertion to the side of the bourgeoisie, that this split in the working class movement is bound up with the objective conditions of imperialism, etc. I had to speak in a Slavish tongue, and I must refer the reader who is interested in the subject to the articles I wrote abroad in 1914-17, a new edition of which is soon to appear. Special attention should be drawn to a passage on pages 119-20, in order to show the reader, in a guise acceptable to the censors, how shamelessly the capitalist and the social chauvinist, who have deserted to their side and whom Kautsky opposes with so much inconsistency, lie on the question of annexations, in order to show how shamelessly they screen the annexations of their capitalist. I was forced to quote as an example Japan. The careful reader will easily substitute Russia for Japan, and Finland, Poland, Courland, the Ukraine, Khiva, Bukhara, Estonia, or other regions peopled by non-Great Russians for Korea. I trust that this pamphlet will help the reader to understand the fundamental economic question, viz., the question of the economic essence of imperialism. For unless this is studied, it will be impossible to understand and appraise modern war and modern politics. Author, Petrograd, April 26, 1917.